If you've ever had chronic neck pain, then you know how hard it is to live with. And it can literally be one of the worst things that you can possibly think of when it comes to pain. In today's video, we're going to be talking about neck pain and ways that I have found to cope with it and even get my neck to a better place than it previously was. So let's dive right in. So to start off, I want to give a reference to my neck and what I personally deal with daily. For myself, I've had neck issues that started in the Navy, which I guess is why they came up with the neck condition called military neck, or AKA no curve to your neck, which this is where the natural curve is completely gone from your neck. Currently, I have more curve to my neck, but I have had loss of curve in the past, and during the time, I also had a herniated disc between my C6 and C7 vertebrae. And if you've ever had a herniated or a bulging disc, you know how painful that is. It is extremely painful. After this healed up, I was diagnosed with degenerative arthritis of the cervical with radiculopathy. That's just a fancy word for basically saying I have neuropathy that goes down my neck, basically down my arm. It also goes into my face sometimes. And if you've ever had neuropathy in your face, oh my gosh, it is the worst pain I think you can possibly go through. It was horrible. I even got checked for trigeminal neuralgia, and thankfully I didn't have that. For almost a year, I lived with a heating pad around my neck 24/7 so I wouldn't get these horrendous knots, which caused me to get extreme tension headaches. It was completely miserable. And if you ever need a really good heating pad for your neck and shoulders, then I would highly recommend the one from Comfy Tim, which is fully adjustable, and I have had this one on for a day straight and it still works like a champ. I like it because it doesn't time out as well, so it will stay on even if you fall asleep. And if you get knots in your neck and you're positioned wrong and you fall asleep and your heating pad goes off, that can lead to a lot of bad mess, waking up with an extreme tension headache. Now this was only a temporary solution, but it was life-saving when I needed it, and I still use it to this day. I will leave all of the links down below. I have a shiatsu massager, but it never really gets the knots, and it can be really hard to get the right angle with it, and you often have to move it around, but it does feel good. Don't get me wrong there. It feels great actually. It just doesn't fully get the knots out. Now the Theracane, on the other hand, this thing is a beast when it comes to knots. I like to call this the knot buster because this thing can get so deep down into knots, and it is a lot deeper than any device I've tried, to include even a massage. Let me just show you how much leverage you can get with this. The true prize and the key to this is the leverage. So here's the leverage. You can also get it with your neck like this. It has like numerous little knots in it, so you can work it on all different parts of your body, and it doesn't really take a lot of force doing this. Like, I have a ton of force right into my back. It's getting super deep, but it doesn't tire out my arms while doing it, and it is way deeper than any massage that I have personally tried myself. Throughout using all my coping devices, I was still searching high and low to figure out how I can possibly get my neck to a better place, because these were only temporary solutions. Thankfully, a friend on Instagram told me about something they tried which worked well for them. This was Atlas Orthogonal Chiropractor, and there is a link below to find a certified specialist near near you. This is a special chiropractor which only focuses on the very top vertebrae of the spine, which this is called the C1. With this being offset, it can literally throw off your entire body. I had never even heard of anything like this before, but when you become desperate, you will try just about anything. I always like to stay open-minded as well, because this is what has led me to heal the most and not the conventional routes with much of anything when it comes to my health. So with this practice, they use a special device and realign your atlas vertebrae, which can make the rest of your body follow suit. The first time I had this done, all of the knots I was previously experiencing, which were all on the back left side of my neck, completely shifted and went to the back right side of my neck. It was honestly the strangest things. This was the most change I have felt in my neck with trying everything, and it didn't fix my neck, but I was able to lean over and do more things. The drive for this doctor was really far away, so it really wasn't economically feasible for me, so I discontinued going to them for a little while, and my neck also started getting worse knots than it previously did, so I wanted to give it a little bit of a break. One day I was in so much pain, and this is usually when I start searching for more ways to get help. During this time, I came across something called roughing. I started watching a bunch of videos on it and reached out to a lady for my first roughing session. Roughing is also known as structural integration, and what they do is they work with the fascia, which the fascia is a part of your body which essentially holds everything in place around your muscles and your bones, and it can be moved. It can be a little confusing to understand the concept at first, but your fascia can get stuck in places, which can make it pull in other places on your body. This can ultimately lead to unexplained chronic pain. This can be very beneficial for the right person. This would benefit someone with musculoskeletal issues throughout your body, which isn't getting fixed by a doctor or by a chiropractor or even physical therapy. I did this for 4 sessions and thought I felt a little bit of relief at first, but I wasn't feeling it in my neck at all, which is what I was going for. So this led me to discontinue roughing, and it could help down the road, but for now, it is not what I need. I was a little discouraged after this because these are 2 things out of the norm for people to do, which I thought were the answer. Now, some things you try out of the norm, they might not be the answer, and you might have to try many times. This is honestly where it becomes super exhausting, and it can just become mind-numbing. I didn't give up, but it usually takes me being pushed back into bad pain before I start to research some more and try to find answers of how I can get help. I have been in a lot of pain lately, and this led me to find another Atlas orthogonal chiropractor again because I noticed the largest change when I gave that a try. I found a new chiropractor who does Atlas orthogonal, but he also does quantum spinal mechanics. With the one visit I have been to see him, I have noticed more positive changes than all of the other visits to all the doctors, chiropractors, physical therapists, you name it. So this gave me some hope. Some of the knots in my neck have gone out after the first time. I've only been 1 time so far, so I'll definitely keep you guys up to date. And I do have a lot more to do with my neck, but I definitely feel like I'm on the right path for once. So what is quantum spinal mechanics? And I am kind of new to it, but they see how your body is shifted with this machine to see how the weight distribution is off and do your alignment based off of that. This has been an extremely long process to finding what works best for me, but I always tell people to always be searching and just keep your eyes and your ears open, and you might come across something that can be helpful. I'm really hoping I can share with you guys many of the treatments and things that I have tried out of the ordinary, so more people are aware of what is out there. This needs to be a community where we help each other and lift each other up with encouragement. And if you have any suggestions for me, make sure to leave them down in the comments, because I want this to be a community thing. And if you have anything that you've personally tried, I would love to hear from you as well. If this video provided you value, or you know someone who could benefit from it, and make sure to hit the like and subscribe. And until next time, be mindful, my friends.